Hi, this is going to be another layers tutorial, and this one will be a little bit different than the cheeseburger tutorial that you've already watched. And hopefully if you were having some trouble understanding what layers is all about, then this video might be able to help you. So one of the first things that you're going to need to do is copy all of the images from the images folder for this week onto your computer in a place where you're going to know where to find them, so that you can pull those images into GIMP and work with them. Okay, and once you've done that, then open GIMP and you can watch this tutorial the first time around, and or maybe just follow along with this tutorial as you're working in GIMP. So make sure that you're able to see your toolbox and your other tools with the layers and channels dialog and all of these other features, plus your main window. Make sure you've got that all pretty well arranged. And what we're going to do first is create a blank new image file. So you go to File, New, and for this tutorial we're going to go with a 800 pixel width and a 600 pixel height. Okay, and also let's make sure, I'm going to click this Advanced Options selection and make sure that we're at 72 point whatever number of zeros in terms of the pixels per inch, okay, or the DPI, PPI. And then we can, it won't matter too much with this, I think we'll go ahead and in the background fill, let's choose transparency, just like that you had to do with that cheeseburger tutorial. Alright, and then click OK. So then, as you can see with the checkerboard, here you've got a transparent background with just so far one layer. So this tutorial is going to help you to understand how to create a very basic composite image. Alright, composite meaning that we're assembling several different images, photographs, whatever, all together into one picture. So first we're going to open several items. Okay, we're going to open up one of the four choices of the ground. Here, let me change this. Okay, I seem to be missing some. There we go. Okay, there are four different selections, options for what ground style, what ground image you can choose, and there's four different sky options here as well. Alright, there's several choices for a person standing, and then there's also a handful of trees. That's what you'll find in that folder. So I'm going to pick one of the ground, and then I'm going to here, let me just open that, and I could show you how to select several images at one time, and you may already know how to do that, but we can do this one at a time. So I've chosen this, and this is going to be basically my background, but we're going to change the sky. So you can, and this also, by the way, is loosely based on the tutorial on pages 49 and 50 in the textbook. So once this one's selected, I can click on this thumbnail here, and then I can drag it over to my new image, and it will copy it into there. So now I have this layer with that ground, and then my background is still a blank transparent image. So now that I have that copied, I can close this. Alright, now I'm going to choose a sky. So I don't know, I'll go with this one. Alright, and once I've got that open and selected, again, leave enough room to show that untitled image here, and then I can choose the sky thumbnail and I have to drag it over to there. And now I've got 3 layers, the sky, the ground, and that transparent background. So going back, I can close that original sky image that I opened, so that's not in the way. And then let me go ahead and grab, and I'm going to select 2 at the same time, holding down the Control key on the PC. I'll take a person standing and then one of the trees. And by holding down Control, I can select both at the same time and open them. Okay, so they open behind there. Again, selecting this tree image, I can drag the thumbnail into here, go back to that tree and close it, and the young lady, and plop her in there as well, and then I'll close that. Okay, so just like you saw in the cheeseburger tutorial, you can click and drag layers around if you want certain layers on the top, and in this case we need the ground layer to start out with at the top and the sky one just below that, and we're going to deal with the other layers a little bit later. This first thing we want to do is we're going to get rid of this nice blue sky with the white puffy clouds and have that other sky show through from the layer below. And so the first thing we need to do is point over here and click with the left mouse button on that layer with the ground image, do a right mouse click, and then when that menu pops up you'll see Add Alpha Channel. Okay, that's going to add transparency information to the layer, and that's going to be important. So then we do a left mouse click. Alright, and you didn't see anything happen, but you will see the result here in a minute. Let's say we just go over to the eraser tool right here. Okay, and then I can see that it's a pretty small. You can change the size right here if you click and drag. Okay, and or you can even type numbers in. Okay, that's quite a bit bigger. Let me go back just a bit. Anyway, and if I click with the left mouse button and I start dragging, then it's going to show that completely different sky. Okay. Okay, there are different ways in which you can erase a section of an image. Alright, I'm going to show you, for example, if I go up here to the rectangle selection tool and left click on it, and let's say I know already that I want a huge chunk out of here to make this faster. Okay, I clicked and I dragged across the screen over a big chunk, most of that sky. Alright, and then hit enter. And then after that I'm going to click on a delete button on my keyboard. Okay, and then I'm going to select none so I don't have that area selected anymore. And you can see now that I've pretty much taken care of most of that erasing. Then if I want to fine tune it, I can go ahead and click on my zoom tool and zoom in so that if I want to make sure that when I'm erasing, and I'm going to change the size here a little smaller. So if I want to make sure that my erasing is much more refined so that it looks more natural, alright, so then you can go through and do that as well. And in fact, if I zoom in even more, go back to the eraser and then maybe make my brush size a little smaller and get even closer to the ground. And you could even, if you wanted to, you know, say cut out that mountain range there that was far in the distance and change the landscape a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and click on view and change my zoom for the moment back up to 100% there, so you can see that I'm closing in on getting a completely different sky to go with this this field of beautiful lavender purple colored flowers. Okay, so I was just trying to finish that up a little bit here for the recording. You can, work on that and get it to look real natural, like there's a real natural break there between your ground and your sky. And probably we should have done this before and do a save as and then name it. Actually, whatever you want to. And I'm going to click save. Okay. And then I'm going to go over here into my layers palette and click on my person standing layer. All right, and I'm just simply going to drag this up above the ground layer to the very top of these layers. And so, maybe I want to make her smaller. Maybe I don't. But I'm going to show you again. You've seen this in the cheeseburger tutorial. You click on the Move tool and make sure that you've chosen Move the Active Layer. If you don't, everything's going to move around if you accidentally click and start dragging somewhere other than right on top of whatever image is there on that layer. Okay, so that turns out to be a real problem. This way you choose Move the Active Layer, and the only thing that'll move when you click and drag will be whatever layer you have active right now. So you can see that you can move her around wherever you need to. Okay. And let me do a save real quick here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and split this tutorial up into two parts. So, keep this open, and if you've been working along with this tutorial, keep your GIMP open and move on to the next tutorial, and we'll just finish this up.